What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex Yu, and you're watching a Ragin Ronin review. I got a review for you. I checked out Cherry on Apple TV. As a matter of fact, I actually subscribed to Apple TV just so that I could watch Cherry. And this is the latest film from the Russo Brothers, Joe and Anthony Russo, who just came out of directing 4 great films from the Marvel Cinematic Universe: Captain America Winter Soldier, Captain America Civil War, Avengers Infinity War, and Avengers Endgame. And not only is this the latest film from the Russo Brothers, it also stars Peter Parker himself, Tom Holland. And I don't remember seeing Tom Holland in anything else other than in Marvel films. He's playing Peter Parker, and that's all I know him as. So I really wanted to watch Cherry, knowing that he's going to play a character that is going to be very, very different from who he's played in the past, and that is Peter Parker. Now, with regards to this film, the only reason why I wanted to watch it is because it's the latest film from the Russo Brothers, and it stars Tom Holland in that combination. Now, if it was just a Tom Holland film, then I probably wouldn't be as interested. But knowing that it's the latest film from the Russo Brothers, and with Tom Holland in it, I really wanted to check it out, and I didn't even know what it's about. I had no idea what this film is about except for what I saw in the trailers, which really didn't give away much of anything. All I saw was scenes of some high school romance. I saw some war scenes, and then I saw some bank robbery scenes, and that's it. So what I gathered from that is that this young guy goes to the war, he gets PTSD, and then he resorts to robbing banks. Maybe because of the PTSD, he needs to see some action, okay? He just can't stay still, okay? He can't live a peaceful life, so he has to rob banks to fulfill that desire for an intense lifestyle. So that's what I gathered from this film. I mean, based on the trailers, okay? So, turns out that I was half right. There's a part of that part of it was missing in my description, and that is, this is actually a drug addiction film. This film is about drug addiction. I had no idea it was about a drug addiction, and I've never actually seen drug addiction films. I know that a lot of them do exist. I know that there are films that are just about being addicted to drugs and how these characters that are written for these films deal with and cope with dealing with drugs, okay? I've never seen films like this before in this genre. Cherry is my first introduction to this particular genre, and that's the drug addiction genre. And wow, that was certainly something I didn't expect. I'll be completely honest with you. This is a very dark and depressing film. It truly is. It's a dark and depressing film simply because you are watching these characters, which we've established and gotten to be invested in, go through a dark and downward slippery slope. The descent into hell, if you will. The descent into drug addiction. And that's not what I was expecting about this film. I thought it was like a descent into just crime, okay? But it's into a more, I guess, a different dark, a descent into a darker life. Okay, that's not just bank robbery, but he resorts to bank robbery to fulfill his need for drugs. So that's obviously very, very dark. And I've seen lots of films about a man who goes into a descent into hell, and that is, to name one that sticks out in my mind, is Joker. Now that, on the other hand, was a very, very engaging story, but it's simply because of the gimmick about the fact that it's about the Joker. That's the gimmick, okay? That's why that film is so engaging, okay? This one, on the other hand, you know what? I don't get a clear sense of direction for this film throughout the entire movie. Okay, I love the direction of this film, as in I love what the directors gave us. I think they have a very, very good sense of a visual style, and it was very, very different from what we were so used to seeing in these epic, grand superhero epics. Okay, we're so used to seeing that. But what they gave us was entirely different. I wouldn't even know that it was directed by the Russo Brothers, because it's such a very different film from the MCU films. We got superheroes, and then we got drug addiction. Obviously very, very different. But it's just the visual style, the direction in terms of like the direction for these actors. I'm gonna give major props to Tom Holland, okay? I wasn't watching Peter Parker. Heck, if you didn't tell me that was Tom Holland, I wouldn't even know that was Tom Holland. Obviously, I would know it's Tom Holland because he looks like, I mean, that's Tom Holland, right? And I've seen him in like so many films, like in the Marvel Studios, right? But then, like, that's such a different character. It's such a stretch from playing Peter Parker. This is a character that I never would have expected seeing him play, and he's so good at it. He's just, you know, it just shows you how talented he is as an actor. He's so versatile that he could play this, you know, the superhero kid, Peter Parker, that we know and love, like a very beloved character, and suddenly play this character that has a very, very dark background. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's just a very troubled youth. And it really, really shows. And we're very invested in this character because, you know, in the first act, we get that teen romance, and we want to see, you know, the boy get the girl. You know what I'm saying? And then we get the second act where we get, you know, where all the war comes into place, and then we see a lot of we see hell, okay? He sees hell, okay? He sees some very traumatic things, and therefore we get to the third act, which is the PTSD, and that's where the drug addiction and bank robbery occurs, right? And that's you know, that's that journey into hell, all right? And I think that the Russo brothers did a great job in delivering the visuals. The director of photography did a great job with the cinematography and bringing about these very, very outstanding visuals to us. I think this is a very, very beautifully photographed film. It just looks it looks outstanding. It looks beautiful. It's glorious in 4K. And Tom Holland adding his amazing acting chops in this, you know, with the direction of the Russo brothers. It's all awesome, okay? It's all really, really great. But I think that behind the scenes, you know, they really needed work with the editing. And what I mean by that is that for a movie about drug addiction and PTSD, for the subject matter we're dealing with and the type of film that it is, it's got a really long running time. Clocking in at 2 hours and 20 minutes, this is not a smooth ride. This is not an expertly paced film. This is a film that, while these characters and the story is very engaging, this is a long trip. You know what I'm saying? For 2 hours and 20 minutes about a film about PTSD, it really gives you a sense that, like, what is the direction that they're going in? There's no clear direction that is established in the first and second act. It is only until we get to the third act that we realize, okay, this is now where the film actually establishes itself as a drug addiction movie. You know, everything else that happened before, like, because it wasn't widely advertised, or at least it wasn't known to me that it was going to be a drug addiction movie, like, I wasn't sure where it was going. So in my mind, I'm just wondering to myself, where are we going with all of this? Like, I don't really know what is the objective here. Is it just a teen romance? And, you know, I don't know what the hell's going on. So, you know, like, I don't think there's anything wrong with that direction. I just feel like it could have been trimmed. You know what I'm saying? I think that they could have trimmed off a huge chunk of some of the fat and tightened it up a bit. Make it a little bit more lean because of the type of film that it is. I think that it doesn't need to be 2 hours and 20 minutes. I think that a lot of the scenes that could have been trimmed down are actually kind of repetitive, actually. I think they really could have tightened it up a bit. I think it had a great direction in terms of the directors doing a good job in directing the actors, because we did get some really outstanding performances. Tom Holland is great. The supporting actors are really well casted actors, and they really are really well written characters, and they're all very believable. But I just feel like it's like they really I think jumping into the genre after making these epic MCU films really gave them maybe hindered their ability to tell more serious stories. Maybe they felt like, okay, we got to make it epic. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to make an epic downward spiral into hell. We got to make it as epic as the MCU films. You know what I'm saying? But it really didn't need to be. They really could have chopped it up a bit, and I think it could have flowed better, because it just made me feel like, where are we going with this? I'm really enjoying the performances. I'm really enjoying the visuals that they're bringing about to us, and I'm really enjoying the the message that this film is giving us. The message is all very clear, okay? And I see that from the beginning, because like they're not the beginning, but like halfway through the movie, because there's a lot of Tom Holland's narrating, which is like very different to me, you know, having that kind of narration by the protagonist. But the thing is that I really feel like there could have been some more work done after the movie was shot. You know what I'm saying? Like, they shot the movie, they got some really great visuals, a lot of great content, and they delivered that content all to us, but I think what they did with the content was lacking. I feel like they could have really done something with it to really give us a more, I guess, a tighter story, a tighter narrative, and I think that's where it I guess that's where is what makes it not fail for me, but where it shows that this film could have been improved. That's my issue with this film. So yeah, I'm gonna give this film a 6 out of 10. You know, I told myself that if Cherry ends up being a really great film, like an outstanding film, that would mean that I will have enjoyed 5 of their films, the Russo brothers. And because of that, if it did end up being a really great film, I'm going to put this film, put these directors, the Russo brothers, as one of my top 10 favorite directors of all time. My favorites list. My top 10 favorite directors list. I would have put them in there. But this film isn't that film for their 5 film streak of great films. Maybe it'll be their next film. In any case, you know, some really great things are in this film, especially the performances. Tom Holland is an amazingly talented actor. But this film, I think what's to blame is really I think the directors needed a better, clearer sense of direction in this film. And that was what hurt it. So I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Go check it out on Apple TV if you want to watch it. Check it out for Tom Holland's performance. There you have it. My name's Alex Yu. Thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you next time. Peace.